Welcome back, everybody, to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis for big mega cap stocks. So show your support by hitting that thumbs up button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, consider subscribing, and that means a lot to me. And if you want to get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, and 3 days of live trading in my Discord, check out the Patreon, and that link will be down below in the description. And now let's get right into it, guys. On Apple stock, it's up 1.33%, and Apple now down with earnings almost 4%. And I said it last night, I'm not expecting a big earnings from Apple. They had poor earnings before last 2-3 times, and I'm not expecting anything big here on Apple, and now it's down. But guess what? I also said it last night, that is a dip buying opportunity, and just like AMD, by tomorrow morning, this dip might be gone. So this is your chance right here to buy the dip on Apple right here if you want it. Now here on Apple going into tomorrow, 180 will be a key level to watch, and this is going to be a second gap down depending on how we open tomorrow. We do have support below 180 right here. Lower Bollinger Band 178, 177, 173. To the upside, Apple can hold right here, then watch out for a move back up to 183, and then maybe at a later date this thing can go right up here at 187.47. So watch out. I mean, we got some big earnings, and Meta is up, I think, what, $50-$60 right now, and that is just insane how much buybacks they're doing, guys. I mean, they got a ton of money. They don't care. They will just buy their own shares, and that's how the market is going up. A lot of people are actually clueless what's happening in the market. Well, that is what actually happening here in this market. Buybacks are back, and Meta doing $50 billion buyback in shares, and that means one thing, that thing can go up to 500 or even more. I said it the last time, the same thing, that they're doing $50 billion buyback. You're going to see all-time highs. Guess what? Now all-time highs, and possibly can go even higher, and with earnings this thing is up 50-60 bucks. So things are getting really crazy here in the market, and you probably saw it yesterday on my thumbnail saying that get ready for a big move, and that is that big move on Meta, and also Amazon up, I think, 4 or 5%. So market will be all over the place tomorrow. Triple Q already gapping up, I think, over 1%, and then SPY also gapping up. It's gonna be really a roller coaster ride going into tomorrow morning. On Microsoft, it's up 1.56%, and this is one of those plays that I took today, and it did not really work well. Shorted right here, and then add a little bit more, and only if I was actually waiting up until, I would say, 1 p.m. that was money, at least 25% in profit. But this thing popped all the way up to 408. I had to get out and take a small loss on Microsoft, and then this thing came down all the way down to 102, and it's just crazy. If I was holding, that would have been 25% profit on Microsoft. So here on Microsoft, going into tomorrow, you can see clearly it cannot break 5-day moving average, sitting close to 405. Got up to 408, but you can see also a huge rejection. So above 405, this thing can run up to 410, and possibly after this high, 415. Below 405, watch out for the support down here, 400, and then possibly coming all the way back down to right here, 394, and then 390, this gap down here. And here's my X account, and if you're on there, definitely give me a follow. Now a lot of you guys are asking, and some people even going in my Discord and then sending me private messages that, hey, I only do shares. Do you actually trade shares or just options? And I get it. The safest way to trade and navigate this market, trading shares. And yes, I do shares, and that is why I want to share this play with you guys right here. And you can see back in 17th, we actually bought 500 shares of GDX. And you can see today it's trading at 29. Entry was at 27.47. So this was one of those safest trade to make $200 right here on GDX. Another one I can show you right here, and that was from a couple days ago. I think that was Boeing, and Boeing, we actually got Boeing again today, and this was near 200, and I sold around 210, and I had 100 shares. So yes, I do a lot of shares, and also options. Now here's another one from today, and this was fantastic on IWM, getting those puts and shorting, and this thing going in the money, over the money. IWM came down to 192, and this was a really nice setup. Now these are only some of those plays that I actually played and just posting here. There are so many that I actually play pretty much every day, especially in the morning. So all these trade ideas are available on Patreon, and if you want to support the channel, check out that link down below in the description. On Meta, it's up 1.19%, and now it's up 14% with earnings, and buybacks are back again on Meta in $50 billion buyback shares right here, and that is why this thing is up massively. And also, it does not make any sense to give you guys any levels on Meta going into tomorrow, because you can see, I mean, this thing went above and beyond. Nobody knows where things will open tomorrow. 450, 460. They might get some upgrades. Who knows where things will be opening tomorrow on Meta. So that is why I don't want to give you guys any levels right now. Let's just go through tomorrow, and tomorrow night I'll have all the levels for Meta to give you guys, because if I give you anything today, it's not going to work. On Amazon stock, it's up 2.63%, and now with earnings up another 6.5%, and hitting and going above this price target on top, 167. So I'm not going to give you guys too much levels here on Amazon, because nobody knows again with earnings where things will open tomorrow and where this thing can go. So going into tomorrow's session here on Amazon, I mean, that is not a $50 move, so I can at least give you guys something. Watch out if this thing actually opens right here above 167. That's gonna be support to watch, and then 165, 163, all the way down to 160. I don't think you're going to see 160 on Amazon tomorrow. I mean, you would be lucky if this thing gets down to 160 going into tomorrow's session, and just gives up all these gains from tonight. On AMD, it's up 1.66%, and now it's up another 1.69%, and this was a fantastic play I took on AMD this morning, getting those calls exactly at 166, 170 calls, and you can see this one going through the roof, and I actually left money on the table. It was up massively, and it's for tomorrow, guys. Friday expiration, so it was cheap. And then on top of that, this thing went over the money. I mean, you can see now 170.48 closing, so that was really massive. And look at this, we got a hammer candle. So going into tomorrow here on AMD, watch out, 170 will be a support to watch. Below that, 164. And I said it so many times before also that once we get above previous all-time highs, that's going to act as a support. So you can take risk right here. As long as you have a stop like 15-20%, you can make a ton of money on AMD, and this is exactly what I did on AMD today. Above 170, watch out for a push up to 173 to 174 right up here, and then possibly going all the way back up to right here, this high, 179 to 180, and then 184. On Netflix, it's up 0.60%, and look at this magnetic support again dropping down to 564. And then what happened, guys? I mean, look at this magnetic support. And if you actually watched my video last night, you would know that this is it right here. If you actually caught this dip, kudos to you. You still made money on Netflix. Went up by what? $6-7. That was really nice on Netflix. Got up to 570 to 66. And now trading at 568 almost, at least after hour, now trading at 568 plus. So going into tomorrow's session, this is going to be your line in the sand, and so far it's not breaking, so this is it. 564, and to the upside, the next stop 588. On Tesla stock, it's up 0.84%, and you can see nobody's actually interested right here on Tesla. And guess what? All those stocks are going to come down at some point, and this will go up. There will be good catalyst for Tesla as well. Right now, it's just not happening, and we got bad news after bad news, and that is why this thing is down. So going into tomorrow's session, and again, it's holding 5-day moving average right here, 188. So that's going to be your key level to watch. And below that, all the way down here, 180. 188 can hold. Then watch out for the resistance right here at 194, 200, and then 206.77. This entire gap on top from earnings. On Nvidia stock, it's up 2.44%, and now it's up another 1.36% and hitting another fresh new all-time high, at least after closing. So going into tomorrow's session, and I also said it last night, that look at this Bollinger Band expanded all the way up to 663, and now even more up to 665. And yesterday was hitting 607, and now trading at almost 640. So that is just insane how, Nvidia is moving pretty much every day. From the low, now it's up over $30 in just a matter of 24 hours. So going into tomorrow's session, if this thing actually opening right here close to 640, then watch out for the support right up here, 635, and then right down here, that would be 627, 5-day moving average, 622, and then possibly coming all the way back to 600 to close this gap. Now, as long as Nvidia can hold right here, 622, 5-day moving average, this thing can push all the way up to 665, and that's going to be the next stop on Nvidia. On Google stock, it's up 0.64%, so nothing big, just a bit of a bounce here on Google, and not really going anywhere. Trading above 140 and trading below 145. So going into tomorrow's session, you need to watch this support right down here, and that is sitting in between 141 and 140. And why? Because 50-day moving average now moving up, sitting at 140.73, and strong support also at 140. So 141 to 140, that's gonna be your line in the sand on Google. To the upside, Google can actually break 145. Yes, we could see another B shape like this one, all the way back up to 148, and at some point up to even 152.78. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching.